Alongside Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark, Martin helped lead the Iowa Hawkeyes to their second straight national championship appearance, falling just short of the title with an 87-75 loss to the South Carolina Gamecocks. This marked the final year of Martin and Clark's college career. Just a few weeks following the game, Martin was selected by the Las Vegas Aces with the number 18 pick in the second round of the 2024 WNBA draft. She initially earned a key role off the bench during her rookie season with other Aces players injured. However, when the team started getting healthy, her minutes decreased drastically. After the season, news broke that Martin would be participating in the inaugural season of the new 3-on-3 Unrivaled League, which is set to debut in late January. She was placed on the Laces basketball club alongside her Aces teammate, Jackie Young. In December, the WNBA held an expansion draft for the Golden State Valkyries, who will debut in 2025. Martin saw her Las Vegas career cut short as she was selected to join the new squad. On Saturday, 4 days into the new year, Martin made an Instagram post highlighting significant moments from 2024. She used multiple photos of herself with family and friends, Clark included, along with two that featured her with the new Laces jersey. In Martin's lone season with the Aces, she played in 34 games and averaged 2.6 points, 1.6 rebounds and 0.9 assists in 11.5 minutes per contest. The Indiana Fever have hired Stephanie White as their new head coach, the team announced Friday. White, who spent the past 2 seasons as head coach of the Connecticut Sun, takes over a franchise led by WNBA star Caitlin Clark. As we enter this new era of Fever basketball, I am thrilled to welcome Stephanie back to the franchise, President of Basketball Operations Kelly Krauskopf said in a statement. Stephanie is a part of the fabric of this franchise, both as a former player and as a member of our championship coaching staff, so I'm quite familiar with her elite basketball IQ and leadership style. I am confident there is no one who better understands our culture or is more equipped to lead our group of players to the next level. Building around a promising young core in Clark and Aaliyah Boston, the past 2 number 1 draft picks, White will look to propel Indiana to the organization's first championship since 2012. White, an Indiana native and former star at Purdue, is plenty familiar with the Fever, having served on their coaching staff from 2011 to 2016, including as head coach for the last 2 years of that span. She was a member of the franchise's inaugural roster in 2000 and played for the team for 4 seasons. I'm incredibly proud and honored to return home to Indiana and lead the Fever during such a pivotal moment in this franchise's history, as well as, during, such an important time throughout women's athletics, White said in a statement. This franchise has and always will be committed to winning, and I look forward to working every day to help deliver another WNBA title to the greatest basketball fans in the world. White went 55-25 with consecutive semifinals appearances with the Sun, winning WNBA Coach of the Year in 2023. Before her return to the WNBA, she coached at Vanderbilt for 5 seasons, and she has worked for years as a basketball analyst. She replaces Christy Sides, who led the Fever to a 20-20 record last season and their first playoff berth since 2016. The organization announced Sunday that it was moving on from Sides, who had just ended her second season at the helm. The Sun announced Monday that White was out after 2 seasons with the team. White's hiring is the latest major move for the Fever, who tabbed Krauskopf as their new president in September and Amber Cox as their new COO and GM last month. The arrival of Clark, the 2024 Rookie of the Year and a first-team All-WNBA selection, sent the Fever into another stratosphere of relevance. The franchise led the league in attendance this year, averaging over 17,000 fans per contest, and regularly garnered 1 million plus viewers for games. Not including the league's newest expansion team in Golden State, the WNBA is set to have 7 new head coaches taking the helm for the 2025 season, which is a record, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Angel Reese is preparing for her Unrivaled League debut on January 17 with Kalia Copper, with some team bonding by jokingly mocking her 30-year-old colleague by calling her a grandma. The Chicago Sky's Reese, at the age of 22, is considerably younger than Copper, but especially in the world of sports where an athlete typically tends to physically decline after passing the age 30 mark, NBR Poor email. Chicago Sky. Reese Clark rivalry carries over to Unrivaled League as fans anxiously await Angels pairing with Lexi Hull. Indiana Fever. Old Dawn Staley tweet against Caitlin Clark resurfaces, setting fans ablaze again. Angel Reese is preparing for her unrivaled league debut on January 17 with Kalia Copper, with some team bonding by jokingly mocking her 30-year-old colleague by calling her a grandma. The Chicago Sky's Reese, at the age of 22, is considerably younger than Copper, but especially in the world of sports where an athlete typically tends to physically decline after passing the age 30 mark. And that's something the forward played into by mocking Copper ahead of their pair-up in Nafisa Collier's unrivaled league, the basketball series that sees two teams of 3 players compete against each other. Grandma, you can always come. NVM, we got 10 weeks to chat, Reese wrote to X.com, formerly Twitter, shortly after the Phoenix Mercury hinted she is Copper's grandbaby on the social media website. Frontrunners for unrivaled comedic duo already, the Mercury, who Copper plays for, posted to X.com, with a couple of videos in the comments of the two women joking around in the gym and before a green screen. After completing her unrivaled league, Reese will be back in action against the Indiana Fever on May 17 to kick off the 2025 WNBA season. She will look to improve the Sky's .325 record from 2024. So despite deleting her Instagram account suddenly, it seems as though Reese is doing okay, and she's actually continuing to live and enjoy her life away from the Meta-owned app as she prepares for her latest basketball journey. It's thought the 22-year-old, who was the only non-Caitlin Clark vote for WNBA Rookie of the Year, deactivated the account after she received criticism for the dress she wore whilst celebrating the new year. The fashionista, who enjoys going to parties, dinners and red carpet events, wore a golden dress that left her midriff almost completely exposed to the point where fans could see her belly button piercing. A small bit of string held together parts of the dress, covering her boobs and protecting her from indecent exposure, which critics slammed as inappropriate anyway, whilst others tried to troll her. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark had a phenomenal 2024, and she chronicled it in a multi-picture Instagram post on New Year's Eve. In the post, Clark shared several personal moments such as vacation with her friends, her appearances at events supporting her alma mater Iowa, and even professional moments such as her winning Rookie of the Year and being named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. My fave moments from the best year. Time to make 2025 even better, Clark said in her post. Clark's 2024 was undoubtedly filled with historic moments that transformed the perception of women's basketball and left a lasting impact on the sports fandom. As the WNBA Rookie of the Year, Clark made history as the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double. She also set new rookie records for points and three-pointers. Her exceptional performance earned her the title of WNBA Player of the Month for August, and she was named a WNBA All-Star. Her play with the Fever led the team to a playoff appearance against the Connecticut Sun, a feat many thought would take a year or two to accomplish with Indiana's struggles. For her stellar skills, Clark was named AP Female Athlete of the Year, joining an elite group of WNBA players who have received the honor, including Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, and Candace Parker. In her final year with Iowa, Clark broke the NCAA scoring record while leading Iowa to the national championship game. Although Iowa ultimately lost to Dawn Staley and the undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks, Clark helped the viewership of the game reach 18.7 million viewers, helping to expand the reach of the sport. Clark's rookie year in the WNBA also brought significant growth to the league. The Indiana Fever experienced a staggering 182% increase in overall attendance, and their game against the Washington Mystics set an all-time WNBA attendance record of 20,711. Clark played a key role in boosting fan viewership for the W. According to ESPN, the full season, including the regular season, playoffs, and finals, averaged 1.2 million viewers, making it the most-watched season on ESPN platforms to date. This marks a 155% increase from 2023, with viewership among P18-34 and women increasing by 164% and 165%, respectively. Caitlin Clark certainly left an undeniable mark on sports in 2024, and her legend is sure to grow in 2025 and beyond. When Jason Kelsey asked Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark on the New Heights podcast what accolade means the most to her, she admitted it was her academic All-American nods. It took sleuths on X just a handful of hours to figure out Clark's GPA at the University of Iowa, an impressive 3.64. As a Hawkeye, Clark was a two-time Women's Basketball Academic All-American of the Year, 3-time first-team Academic All-American nod, and a 2-time Division I Academic All-American of the Year. I'd give the answer my mom would say, which is probably Academic All-American, Clark told the Kelsey brothers. She was proud of me for being a good student in college. Nobody talks about that. Of course, Clark also won a host of other undergraduate awards. She was a 2-time AP Player of the Year, Wooden Award winner, and Naismith College Player of the Year. Clark didn't just capture the best of the best awards during her elite junior and senior seasons, she was also dominant during her first 2 years in school. The former Hawkeye captured the 2021 Big Ten Freshman of the Year nod and then led the entire nation in assists a year later, the first of 3 times she accomplished the trick. Clark increased her trophy cabinet at the professional level. After the Fever selected her with the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, she continued to rack up the awards. The Fever star was a WNBA All-Star, member of the All-WNBA First Team, and the league's 2024 Rookie of the Year. She missed on winning the award unanimously by just a single vote. WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark made the scene at Carnesecca Arena on Saturday to support Butler against St. John's in what became a 70-62 Big East win for the Red Storm. In truth, Clark was there to support Butler assistant coach Connor McCaffrey, her boyfriend since 2023, when both were basketball stars for the University of Iowa. Clark, the number 1 pick of the Indiana Fever after breaking all Division I scoring records for the Hawkeyes, was seated in the first row behind the Bulldogs bench. The 2-time College Player of the Year helped the Fever reach the playoffs this season and was named an All-Star and All-WNBA first-teamer. "It'll be fun to go to those games," Clark told the Indianapolis Star in September after McCaffrey, the son of Iowa coach Fran McCaffrey, was hired. "I loved college basketball, and obviously he's been around it his whole life and invested a lot into it. It'll be fun, it'll give me something to do all throughout the off-season as well, give me someone to root for, but it's definitely still go Hawks." Clark conversed with the members of the Butler staff outside the locker room after the game.